Good afternoon, everybody. This is Lethal Sales coming to you live from Baltimore, Maryland, where Larry Feldman is holding court already with some of his good friends. Those of us who are not in Baltimore are here on Zoom. Hi to Harry, hi to Peter Smith, hi to Troy, hi to Michael. And I'm going to turn this over to Larry because he is there and he's going to tell us about the show.
Hey, everybody, having a fabulous time at Asotucon. Obviously meeting a lot of my crew and a lot of new people, a lot of great information disseminated. And we're really having fun. This handsome guy with the beard over my shoulder is Paul J. Daly. He's one
handsome guy with a beard.
It's not a beauty contest. I'm working here, okay? This is the abuse I put up with. Paul J. Daly is absolutely positively one of these guys that's all about promoting positive things. He's here. We encourage anybody to get involved and join with us. Duran Cage is also here.
What's Harry's shirt say?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, now we're talking.
There
I
we
get
go.
more compliments on this T-shirt. People love it.
We love it. Paul, do you have any words of wisdom for us?
Well, I think the words of wisdom are definitely if you lean into a collaborative mindset and have people first. And I know that might sound like trite or something that people say a lot, but legitimately, the speed of trust and how fast business moves. Once you show people, you can be a
More
little
on this side so they can see it.
as a person and be a little vulnerable. Don't take yourself too seriously, but focus on the other person. I'm telling you, it speeds business up so much, especially when we're talking about recruiting, especially when we're talking about recruiting. It makes a big difference.
All right, now you know how they have the hearing impaired and the people do the sign language? I'm going to translate what Paul just said
Give it to us
into English. Okay, here's the deal. You show up, you have good intentions, you have good food, you tell some jokes, and you show that you actually care about the people you're working with and for, and realize you'll be dead one day, and it's a sin against God not to fulfill your potential.
Larry,
Did I get that right, Mr. Daly?
Larry, you sound like you're in a restaurant, not a convention.
No, these guys throw a big party. We also have Duran Cage here, so the median height of the room went up, and John Ellis and I are feeling shorter and shorter. Hang around as long as you want. The guy's running 9 million
I
things.
have to eat the first time today. I love
Sorry,
you
I'm
all.
not there. Sorry, I'm not there with you. Have COVID, unfortunately.
Next time, we're gonna do it again.
I'm sure.
Let me tell you all the good
Take care,
folks we
Paul.
have. Paul, thank you. We got David Lowitz, who is trade pending. Pop your head into the frame.
Hey, David.
Great guy, great friend, and supporter of Career Changers and our program. Tell us a little bit about what you think of the show, and then we'll get Jordan Cox is here too. Beautiful.
Best thing I could say is if you're not here this year, you should be here next year. There's just too much good stuff happening in this room to miss out. Too much good information, too many good feelings, too many good people. If you're not here, you're missing out. Be here next year.
Now you hear what he said. You said if you're not here, you should be here. He did the exact opposite when he ran the funeral home. He said if you're not here next year, that's good. Send in a deposit. I
Hey,
got Tom Klein.
David, hold on,
No octopus jokes over my right shoulder. Tom?
right. Hi, everybody. Glad
Hi, Tom.
Good to see you, Rhonda.
And Duran actually logged in on his computer because he got tired of being too tall.
He's a tall guy. He's
Yeah.
a big guy.
You want to sit down and get to the same height, right?
Yeah, right.
For anybody that's ever been in a restaurant with 5 millennials and they're all on their iPhone, Duran Cage is right next to me and turned on his own computer.
Look at that. Isn't that
And he's
cool?
got little funny stickers on the side. It's very sad. They also have a remedial program from the halfway house, and Jordan Cox is here. Jordan, it's this side of the screen with the camera. This is their tech guy. This is a very scary breakdown. We got Scott Trainer over here. Are you on that side? Okay, we're spread. John, come on over. This is Jordan Cox from Asotucon. He's going to come back and join us and start more trouble.
That's right.
Duran, some words of wisdom, sir? Look right into the screen, Duran. It's not complicated.
Teach you about how to do video one day, okay?
What are we talking?
Words of wisdom about what?
Do I have any words of wisdom? Just make something up.
It looks like you're muted though. No, I turned it off for a second. Okay. I'll give some words of wisdom. So I was just in Kyle's, their marketing one. I don't know if any of you guys are in there. But they said that the number 2 spot that people take on their journey when they're buying a car is using video. They asked the 2 marketing people on there, they said, what's the biggest struggle when it comes to video? And they said they cannot get dealership people to do them. So my advice to you is to get super uncomfortable, get your phone out and start videoing like crazy, because we have a window of probably like another 12 to 18 months of people still being so apprehensive about video. So you can captivate, or you can capture that audience if you just start posting a little bit more or start sending customers videos along that process.
I love it.
Durant.
Their words of wisdom were beautiful. What have you thought of the show so far?
Wait, the only better words of wisdom for that would be you stop selling.
Come on in, come on in. We got my buddy here. Introduce yourself. That's it. Get right in front.
What's going on? It's Lou Ramirez, the car guy. What's up?
Introduce yourself.
It's Lou Ramirez, the car guy from the Car Guy Coffee Podcast. What's happening, everybody?
Tell us what you think about the show, my brother.
Oh, this is an incredible show. Incredible facility that it's in. It's kind of conducive to the forward-thinking, technological flow that is Asotucon. The swag is awesome as always. They always got.
But you were complaining last night that the open bar closed too early.
This guy's never complaining about the bar closing. But no, this is awesome, and there is some incredible people here. As is expected at any good event where there's some good stuff being shared, but some really great people that we love, and just excited to be out here. See a couple familiar faces. What's going on, Mike? How you doing?
Cool. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Lou.
So much. Really a good conference, a ton of good people here. Anybody have any thoughts or any questions? I see my boy Troy, Peter Smith, Mike Larkin. Anybody have any thoughts or questions that we can?
Hey, I got a question for Duran.
Duran, he's got a question for you.
Type scissors.
He's coming back.
When you're not starring in movies and creating videos, how do we get the people to get past that fear of video that we all know is inherent to our lives? Everyone thinks that they have a face for radio, and they got to get back on the game and really push video. How do we do it?
There's 2 ways. There's either you focus on the pain or you focus on the pleasure. And so what I mean by that is you either focus on the pain of not doing it and showcasing the team what happens when we're not doing that. So example being, you're showing deals that we lost, you're showing potential revenue that you've lost. Like for me personally, my pain, the reason why I started doing video was in December 2018. It was actually December the 31st, 2018. I recorded a video at 11:59 at night. What people don't know is on December the 23rd, I got a call from 2 large dealer groups that were my clients, and they canceled me. I had enough money to make it about a month and a half, and I had a family of 6 people. That's pain. So that made me get uncomfortable to the point where I was like, holy smokes, I got to start marketing myself, and I got my camera out and I started recording. That's where the whole Duran Cage on video thing happened. The pleasure side would be if you focus on just making it fun. So at a dealership, if you're coaching people, do awards, do celebrations, give people best comedy video award, best style of video, and reward them, give them trophies in a sales meeting. Now you're rewarding it. That creates pleasure because people like to have recognition, right? It's like the #1 behavior that we all want is to be recognized. So either you do it through pain, where there's consequence and there's worry, or you do it through pleasure, which is like just rewarding and keeping it fun. That's what I was trying.
By the way, Duran was a little drunk last night, and he confided to me that he actually had 8 kids. He had to sell 2 of them. That's how rough things were for him for a little while. You should have seen that video with them loading them into the. Now you got trouble. We got our man Duran is jumped off, and now we got John Ellis. John, tell us about the show, my buddy.
Hey, can you see me? Oh,
Yeah,
great.
you're the handsome guy over there.
Yeah, well, I don't like looking at myself because, I'm not as handsome as Larry. But I'll tell you, it's been an amazing.
Not as handsome as me, not as tall as Duran. We will be having a telethon for John Ellis.
So, hey, look, guys, I wish you could all be here. You would love it. If there is an opportunity next year, please come. The networking and the after hours events are amazing. But look, the speakers, we had some amazing operators, industry leaders, some of the best in the business teach us some of the learnings from this year. So remember, this is annual, that have really brought them to a profitable place. Things that I'm going to use when I'm talking to my clients. And so it was well worth the trip. I got to tell you, meeting people like Brian Kramer year after year here, hearing what he's doing in the trade part of our business and the valuation part and the wholesale part. Recurrent is here for EVs. They're helping us. They're bringing content to the table for us to make our dealers even more prepared for the EVs that are coming. Just an exciting time. So I'm glad to be with you guys. I'm super glad to be here, and I hope to see you here next year.
Is it, Duran, is it okay if I tell the story of what happened in the room last night? We were grappling with a device and we were trying to find the outlet, and John Ellis said, just let's use batteries. I don't trust this electric stuff. Hey, Jordan, come on back.
Whatever.
Jordan Cox was here. A soda, we had more fun at dinner than is humanly allowed.
I didn't know you could fit that many dad jokes into one dinner, and boy, was I wrong.
Laughing pretty hard for a dad joke, my brother.
But they were good ones, you know that.
Yes, sir. Tell us how much you're enjoying the conference and what you've learned and what you do
Yeah.
for Asotucon.
Yeah, so what I do for Asotu is I'm the community head. So what that means is I make sure people are aware of who we are, what we're doing, and also like the great community we have. So obviously there's people like you, there's Duran, there's Larry, there's a ton of contributors that are really a part of this, and it's all about getting better, growing, and also changing the negative stigma of the industry. And you do that at the front lines, you do that as a team leader, you do that at so many different levels, and that's really what we're all about. Today at Asotucon, we've got 3 full days of fun, engaging activities where we can network, collaborate, and really just like grow relationship. Like the education is awesome, but being there in person to do it together, learn, grow, and even have conversations between sessions, like that's where it's at. That's what excites me so much.
He's not
Jordan.
telling you that last night at dinner, I made him laugh so hard he choked on his food 3 different times.
And it was fish.
Jordan. Jordan, here's a question for you, Jordan.
Yeah.
Give me one simple answer to change the negative image at a dealership that the customers have. One simple way.
Yeah.
One simple thing.
And here's what the best thing is. It's not even at the customer level. It's our frontline salespeople. So if there's one word, it's we need to inspire people to be the best. One sentence. We need to inspire our frontline employees to be the best version of themselves.
And I love Jordan, but I'm going to take slight opposition to that. It's not inspire. The right word is empathize. Once we realize that we are our customers and they are us, and that, again, the thing we hate psychologically more than anything else is what we recognize in other people. So you'll have a salesman complain how cheap a customer is because they don't want to pay $9,000 a month. And they're the same guy that's on eBay for 3 weeks trying to save 8 cents on the CD.
Or Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, I didn't want to say that. I didn't embarrass you. It's very savage, Scott.
Are you attacking me? You're attacking me. That's me. I'm on Facebook Marketplace.
He has no cable TV. It's very
Attacking
sad.
you. He's attacking you, not attacking you.
That's right. Yeah.
Listen, Jordan, I'm going to tell you the truth. Jordan, we set out to go out to dinner with David Lowens, who's one of my best buddies. And it grew into a party of 11 or 12 people. Wendy Reeves joined us. My buddy Zach joined us. Brian Motes joined us. And it became such a fellowship. And it was literally nobody wanted to go home. I mean, we just had more fun. If that's what we can do for our customers, understand this, Peter. We have a huge advantage. People hate us and fear us. You're going to say, Larry, that's not, it is, because nothing is stronger than when a negative is overcome by a positive.
That's true.
So we have the opportunity to have them say, wow, you're pretty nice for a car guy. Boy, it was really nice that you did that. So I see that negativity as the world's greatest opportunity.
Absolutely, Larry.
And overcoming that, there's much more success in it.
In the last 3 days, I've probably put out about 8 posts about fear in this industry.
You did what?
I've put out about 8 posts about fear in this industry, the fear
Okay.
of the unknown, the fear of,
And this was you did these posts in what, in the last day or two?
yeah.
8 of them, right? We
Yeah.
need to get you a girlfriend or a pet or something. Like, you got way too much time on your hands.
Don't talk to me about that.
I'm sorry. Jordan had to leave. I think he needs liquor after being on our podcast for a few minutes. I mean, Troy and Mike are already drunk, so they're fine. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Did you freeze him, or did everybody get frozen? Can anybody speak?
Yeah.
Hello.
You froze there for a second. Peter, go ahead, my brother. And then let's hear from Troy and Michael and Harry and Durant stepped out for a second.
So today I put out a post, and this is something that can be discussed. Our business is a reactive business. We choose to react to situations rather than be proactive. We'll spend 5 times more money because we're reactive, and when we can spend a single dollar and be 25 times ahead of the game if we're proactive. We have this inherent fear of change and development. The focus of Asotucon is changing that mindset. And this is why everyone there is so positive. So we got to change that narrative that we look at in that mindset.
I agree. Troy, what do you got to say, my buddy?
Well, I would say 2 things. I'm hearing Duran and Peter both right on with both of them. That video has got to be something that we utilize a lot more. And what you're talking about being proactive versus reactive, Peter, that's where video can be so important, because you can start developing relationships with video and be doing the things that are not, you're not reacting. You're taking initiative, taking charge. And so that's
But Troy, hold on. There's a message within the message. Duran is 100% correct in the importance of video, but once we acknowledge the importance of the tool, now we've got to develop the skill to use the tool properly. Because just putting a camera in front of your face and going, it's like the salesman that's bored. If we can bring some energy, if we can maybe review our own videos and make sure, because what we think we're putting out, Duran, isn't always what we're putting out. The subliminal things sneak. And I didn't mean to interrupt you, Troy, but Duran elbowed me and said, "You haven't spoken, Larry. Say something."
And that's exactly why, with what Michael and I have talked with you about, that you've got to have somebody that can kind of help be a director a little bit and be that objective person who can go, hey, we could do this, you could do this a little better, or do those things. It's kind of a coach, director.
That's not what you and Michael talked to me about. You wanted to know what meds I'm on because you wanted something about an energy deficiency. At least that's what Michael said. He texted me. I'm sorry, Troy.
I want to jump in real quick and say the following. When you give someone the opportunity to talk about something they're passionate, it's going to come off more raw and authentic. So the key is give them something to talk about that makes them passionate about it, right? So if we're...
Whoa. Do we agree, though, that in order to do that, you have to be passionate? Because if you're not excited, it's hard to get anybody else lit up. Do you agree?
Michael?
Yep.
Just quickly, look at the post I put out there, and it's got a picture with me on a car. It's all about passion and what.
No. You needed to see the picture of me and Duran. I got us locked up last night. You want passion? You had to hear him explain to the bail bondsman. I think he was up to 11 kids when he was talking. Please let me out. Aren't you glad you joined us, Duran? But I'm sorry. I'm sorry to be so incorrigible. Duran brings this out in me. Go ahead.
So Peter, what we do, for example, just to also validate what you're saying and just kind of staying on the issue of, or the topic of passion, we do video storytelling. And if a dealer has built their business, they've been through a process and they're very passionate about talking about their process, where they were, where they are now, the difficulties. In addition to that, each of the sales staff, they have a story to talk about as well. So when you take all of that combined and you give people the opportunity to talk about their story, now it becomes more passionate. But if you give them a camera and say, hey, just talk about your dealership, what car you're going to be selling, that's not going to come off as passionate, and it's not really interesting to people, but their stories are. And that's what comes off genuine, passionate. And this is what you can do to motivate people to talk about their story.
Exactly.
You act like a human being who cares about another human being,
That's right.
making it human.
I love it. Michael Larkin, what do you got to say, my buddy?
Hey guys, sorry I'm not there. Oh, you guys are having such a great time. I'm so jealous.
All
What
right,
you guys
Duran
are-
ate your hors d'oeuvres. Don't worry about it.
You didn't, huh?
Bro,
So-
I'm going to go to Five Guys when I'm done. You don't know me too well.
So what you guys are talking about is right up my alley. The reputation is going to change when you couple video marketing, which is out already. Everybody knows they can make a video, with reputation marketing. When you meld those two together and you put it on platforms that everybody can see, everybody's eyeballs are looking at these platforms. And I'm not talking about Facebook where it's here today, gone tomorrow. I'm talking about like platforms where people are looking to vet you out to Google. So if you're on Google for your business every day, you ask any customer whether they'd want to go.
Hey, wait a minute. Hold on. I don't mean to preempt your message. I got Ben Hadley here with me.
Ow!
Okay, I don't know anybody that doesn't know. You guys done? This isn't the prom, okay? This guy, okay, everything I don't know about tech, this guy does. He's one of the smartest guys you will ever meet. Nobody knows what the hell he's talking about, but he's very smart. Tell us what you've learned from Asotucon, and thank you so much for joining in, Ben. This is my Lethal Sales podcast. We're doing it early.
Okay, I think the biggest takeaway that I'm seeing is the value of first-party data. As you think about like, all right, I'll go deep. If you think about like the future, which is really going to be AI competition, okay, the only way that you can create a different answer from an AI is if you have different data. Right now, there are 3 drives that the dealers I've spoke to are not taking advantage of. One's the service drive. There's a ton of money in the service drive. A lot of dealers aren't taking advantage of that. One is the test drive. We all know that. I mean, that's like a need. But the main one is the hard drive. The freaking hard drive contains records, 60,000, 100,000 records that are unique to your dealership. That I swear, I think what's going to happen is that the value of that data is actually growing every single year. Okay. And in future state, you're going to have bids essentially for that data, because that will differentiate one guy versus the other. So I'd be really hyper conscious on your first party data. Be really hyper conscious on how you can get it and how you can keep it clean. But I'd also be looking at how you can take your current model and start adjusting it for retention of a customer versus net new all the time.
I got a question for Ben.
No. But before you ask Ben a question, I got to tell you how valuable an asset he is. We were walking into the casino and we got mugged. And he started to analyze the gunman and his psychological profile. The guy handed him the gun and said, "This is too deep for me. I'm going to go rob somebody not as smart." But I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead, Mike. Ask your question. And it better be good after that.
It is Baltimore, okay? But hey, Ben, got a question
I'm from
for
Philly.
you.
Have you watched the news this morning?
Yeah,
I'm starting trouble. Go ahead. Out of control. What can I do, Ben? I'm doing my
Right,
best to keep it simple.
right. But the data that you're talking about, do you foresee these third party kind of lead generators that'll be done in-house per rooftop rather than them going outside the rooftop and getting their data?
Say that in a different way. Like, ask me that again in like another.
Sure. So currently they're going, the rooftops are going to third party. So they're getting their leads through third party companies that are putting
So we're
out,
sharing the data with them.
yeah, they're sharing the data, but not only sharing the data, but sharing the data with their inside markets, like 3 to 5 of their competitors locally.
Oh yeah.
And it's pretty much blowing the mind of the consumer.
Sorry, let me go
One
back to
stance.
that. Yeah. So think about it this way. Normally we go after net new. I need a new car sale. How do we do that? We do it exactly the same way that you just talked, whether that's sharing leads on the OEM site or whether that's cars.com, Auto Trader, et cetera, the endemics, right? For that net new, I don't even get to own the data. I'm sharing it immediately with my other competitors. The value of that is no longer as much as if I go back and look into my own database and go, holy crap, who's that guy that bought from me 5 years ago?
Hold on, you're, as usual, you're so brilliant, I gotta translate, because most of my guys are a little dumb. What he's trying to say to you is, how stupid are you to look at the mall for business when you can go into your service department? And sometimes if you narrow your focus, you say, see, I could have said that, but I'm minus 117 IQ points. But that I didn't mean to interrupt you.
So I mean,
And hurry up,
so-
Rachel's getting
so
impatient.
what you're essentially doing is you're taking the data you currently have, that you currently own. If you sell them a new car, if you bring them in for service, if you do anything to that data, you're adding more richness to it, right? Now I know that person tends to get oil changes at this point. Now or whatever, that data is getting enriched. That is exclusively yours. So what I'm saying is not only is there value in the retention play here, where you probably lower your marketing costs because you already own that customer relationship.
But the level of detail, it's
But
like putting in the
but you're
CRM, the
enriching
kid
it.
graduates.
Yeah, you're
he's been
enriching
taught right.
it. So now that actually becomes like, you have the best understanding of that customer. You're not sharing that understanding with others. That to me is, I think, where the future goes, where that data becomes really.
So anybody that hasn't heard the scuttlebutt, Ben and I are forming a company. He's going to explain all the detail. I'm going to order the pizza. I think it's going to work perfectly.
Sure.
And basically from what is being said, what are we doing? We're lowering our acquisition costs of a customer.
And increasing our lifetime value of the customer, 100%.
Exactly.
Because do we all agree the number one enemy is retention? And the fact that we've heard for 1 billion years, we sell the first one, service sells the next one, and they spend way more money on sales than they do on service. It's like the open stepchild. It makes no sense.
I think everybody says cars are a commoditized market. That's only because we treat our customers as commodities. If we didn't treat the customer like a number, this wouldn't be a commodity game. But because we do, because we're like, I would just get another one of those.
Yep.
I actually would argue that we shouldn't even be attempting to speed up the 3 hours it takes to buy a car. We should be first focused on how can we make the 3 hours we have with that customer amazing.
Exactly.
That we have a 3 hour opportunity to give them the best service, the best whatever, that will be memorable. If you talk to a real estate agent, like I've had the same real estate agent for 4 houses. Okay. But total net time I've spent with him is probably under the amount of time I've ever spent with dealers for the last 4 cars. Why do I have a better relationship with my real estate agent than I do with my salesperson?
I think I can explain that. I think I can explain that and dovetail in with what Ben's saying.
Yeah.
One of the things that I do when I train is I say, what do you think it costs to bring somebody into a dealership? The cost these days is around $450 to $500.
Yep.
Imagine how many more cars and how much better we'd all be treated if they had to put a cash deposit down before they spoke to you. But the idea is that's the owner's money. I don't care. Let's throw the guy out.
Yep.
So again, and I love Ben, if we tie the technical, which he's a wizard at, in with the personal, if we tie it in with the videos of Duran Cage, if we just make this fun and personal, we can't lose.
Hey, Larry, so what you're saying is actually
We got Matt Lasher here.
Hey,
He's a lot
Matt.
more fun when he's drunk than Ben Hadley. What do you have to say?
That's not true. That's not true. What are we talking about?
I got Ben bragging about his drinking.
quickly there, Larry.
Hold on.
What we're talking about is
Matt charges by the hour. I got to get his thoughts in. We're talking about Asotucon. I have a crazy program called Lethal Sales, but instead of doing it at 7 p.m., we did it here. Matt's dynamite. Tell us a little bit about what you think about the conference. And then I promise, Peter, you can ask him whatever you want. The guy's sharper than a tech.
Listen, the conference is great. Paul and Kyle's mission to amplify people in auto is a very inspiring one and something that we should all try to support because there's a lot of great, as we know, being in the industry, there's a lot of great people in it. I think some vendors maybe look at it as it's not enough dealers here or whatever, but I think there's more power to the the community of the industry than maybe we give it credit for. So I think there's a lot of opportunity and power just interacting with each other today. So I think it's a great opportunity, but I got my dealer hat on today, 39 store group Buffalo.
right right across the river from me.
Very
So
good. Yeah, in
yeah,
Toronto,
I'm just over in Niagara Lake. So
let's go. I'll
Yeah.
skip a stone to your house.
And
Yeah.
listen, let me expand on what Matthew said. I've heard a couple people complain idiotically, there's not enough dealers here. I could care less, because every vendor I deal with deals with dealers, and when they find out I can get texts and I can get people, I work them to work it. Everything is an opportunity, and if you're looking for negativity, you know what, you're always gonna find negativity.
Yeah.
And when you do get back to your store, run over a couple guys. I like to be proactive with my recruit, okay? Let me give you a card, sir. Here, we're on camera. I'm giving him the card. He feels honored by him now.
Thanks, Larry.
It was a
Appreciate
pleasure to meet
You
you.
guys have a good day, okay?
take care, Matthew.
Thank you so
Talk
much.
soon.
She just likes to get introduced.
So basically, what is coming out of this whole experience, Larry, is a quality experience with everyone.
Absolutely. And by the way, I'm sorry to be rude. It's just I met so many cool people here. This is Rachel Blatt. And I say this with every ounce of jurisprudence I can. She's as nuts as I am. So we hit it off.
That's impossible.
I know it's hard to believe, but trust me, I understand crazy better than anybody. I see it in the mirror every morning. Rachel, and then I promise we'll go back to Peter and everybody around the room. Tell us what you think of the conference. You already told me it was better than you've ever been to because you met me. God bless her. She said it, not me.
It really is true. You are pretty much the best thing that's come out of this conference. And I got to meet.
Look at this. I got a date.
I got to meet.
Look how,
so
wait a minute, look
many-
how lonely Duran looks. He's like, I'm taller than him. Why is he getting all the women? We'll talk after the show. But
So my name is Rachel Blatt. I own a automotive transport company called Royalty Logistics. I started my company in my living room with zero money. We grew it to multi-million. We service about 1,000 customers. And I talk to dealers every single day about their issues because we
did
provide.
you hear this, Rhonda? She's wealthy. She likes me and she's ambivalent on her husband. This is going to be an interesting trip.
I
Forget
promise
about
not to tell your wife.
Yeah. He's amazing. But yeah, so here we are. And so I'm just so grateful to be connected to you. I talk to dealers every single day about their issues, and we love to learn and provide more value than just shipping cars. I think that's what separates us.
Oh, hold on. She just said the magic word, and Duran Cage is perked up too. We love to learn. You know, I'm not being humble and I'm not bragging. I'm a hell of a talker. I can tell jokes on that. I can talk about a lot of stuff. That's not what makes me or anybody on this panel effective. It's listening. Because if you talk a bunch of nonsense that's disconnected from what the people want to hear, you're lost. It's about being a good listener. She's a terrific listener. I got the privilege of sitting next to Duran Cage. Man, everybody on this damn show is a terrific listener. I had to push that in because when people talk about learning, really learning, not just showing up at a conference to get drunk and fondle a recruiter. I'm sorry, I had to say that. It's in a disclaimer. Go ahead.
I lost a bunch of money at the slot machine. So
Now, wait a minute. I'm in Baltimore and she asked me for money. I think we're crossing a line here. Look, Duran's like, it's okay, Larry. I know somebody can get it financed. Stay on your side, will you, Cage? Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you so much. Stay right there. Who haven't we heard from yet? I don't want to monopolize. I just met so many great people here.
William.
Hey, there's my buddy. How are you?
I'm here.
You most certainly are. This is William Granada, a really good guy, terrific guy.
he had a great smile. Look at that smile. So happy.
We're going to the prom and you're flirting with him? You were right about her, Duran. William, do you have any questions for this august body?
Don't really have any questions. Just wanted to pop in here this morning and just appreciate the Council of Good Wisdom.
Council of Good Wisdom. She's drunk and I act like I'm drunk. The only one that's making sense is Duran, and he sold 2 of his kids when there was a downturn. Let's go to somebody else. Harry, what do you have to say?
Probably made money.
Yeah, Harry, what do you have to say, my brother? No,
You know,
wait a minute.
Larry-
He didn't even make money. He didn't talk to Brian Kramer. He gave him a range. David Long screwed them all. We're going to do a buyback on the kids as soon as the market drops.
Larry and I were at.
Duran's texting his wife, why am I on this show?
Larry and I were at a Subaru dealership last week, a brand new, largest dealership in New England. Salespeople better wake up because this dealer spent $20 million building a building for Subaru franchise. It was probably the nicest dealership I've seen. So the connect between sales and the dealership has to happen. Otherwise, these dealers are going to go broke. And I don't know what the domestics are going to do when the inventory stops flowing right now because of the strikes. And it appears that's going to grow right now. But this
we had multiple discussions. I listened and I was engaged in some about buying centers. About everybody has to be, we've always bird dogged and referred people that one of the questions always has to be, are you interested in selling your car? And making it as simple and as frictionless as possible. Because we tend, right, we're all the same. You go to a website to order or look at something, and after the 19th question, you go, the hell with it. I'm going to find somebody with less questions.
It's got to become an easy transaction.
Go ahead. I'm
Larry,
sorry, Peter, go ahead.
Larry, you're in the recruiting business. How asinine is it that if someone's applying for a job, that you go to the site and you apply for the job, and then they drive you to another site to fill in multiple questionnaires?
Excuse me. That's every other recruiter, not me.
Yeah.
They put
And
the ad
then-
in, either me or my girl Pam calls and we get them hired, they send me a check.
And then after that, it won't even populate their resumes into the system. We gotta change everything. And this is like I do spot audits on tons of dealerships, and you wouldn't believe the amount of dealerships that are still doing archaic systems.
Please, Peter, please encourage them to continue these horrible ways they do business. I need the money.
Thank you. There's a lot of money in solving problems.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
It sure is.
Who haven't we heard from yet? Boy, are we glad to see you all and for you to participate this crazy day today. Hold on, she's got to leave.
I know. Thank you. Bye.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So going back to what you're learning there, Larry, you've been in the business for 40 years. You're learning something new every hour while you're there. Tell us 3 takeaways that you found at this event.
Well, okay, we had Todd Caputo's here, ex-dealer, and he was talking about appraising cars and how there has to be a process, and it has to be, ironclad throughout the dealership. Because, right, we all know that if you have 10 processes, you have no process. And real good guy. And at the end, I said, can I ask you a question? He said, sure. I said, of all the dealerships you visit, how many are actually doing the process correctly? And he said, I guess none of them. So I guess the lesson continues to be that you can have an exercise machine, the best one, the best Nautilus in the world. If you don't get on the damn thing and you don't do it consistently, it's a waste of time. There was a lot of talk about buying centers. You've got a UAW strike, which makes no damn sense. And I don't care if people don't like my politics, that's your problem. We got our idiot president taken aside, and the side he's taken is I'm going to tell you to ask for a 4-day work week and a 40% raise as I put you out of business with EVs, which doesn't make a damn bit of sense either. We have to be able to find vehicles. And I learned from Brian Kramer that Carvana, that these big companies buy 1 million cars a year. It's insane. And they don't sell them all retail. They wholesale a ton of them. So there's so much money to be made. And here's the funnel and the exit. And of course, I always hear the same thing about training, about how important it is. But now I'm dovetailing back into what Peter Smith did and what everybody knows. If this stuff is so important and so essential to us living and existing, how come nobody's doing it? This is a guy sitting at a bar and he's 600 pounds overweight, smoking a cigarette and drinking a quart of vodka, telling you, yeah, I think tomorrow I'll start going to the gym. Well, how about start going tonight? How about put the cigarette down? So being stupid is one thing, but it's even stupider for a smart person to know what to do and not grab that and put that into things. Because I got to tell you something, I don't want to depress you all. We're all going to be dead one day. And while we're alive, we need to maximize our potential, our fun, our opportunities, or else what the hell is the sense of going to work? Was that enough information for you, Peter?
Absolutely. Now, would you say that the business is almost like a diet then? That we have this great intention to do better, but we can't go past the chocolate bars at the checkout counter at the grocery store without buying one, and because we don't have that discipline that is necessary, and in life we look at the 10% of people that actually have that discipline and wish we are, or
Wait a minute,
wish
as far as the diet, William Granada told me that if you break a chocolate chip cookie into pieces, the calories are depleted. You did say that, William, right? Look at my man smiling his butt off over there. Listen, it's human nature. We know what we should do, and then we don't do it. Or
Exactly.
haven't we all seen a guy, you haven't seen him in 5-10 years, and you go, man, you look fabulous. I started going to the gym. I haven't felt this good since high school. Great. You run into him a month later. How's the gym going? I quit. It's what we do as human beings. We know the right path. We know which direction we're supposed to go, but it's just not that easy to do it, right? Saying it and doing it are often two different things.
Where do you see the changes that are developing at Asotucon coming forth into the auto business?
All right, let me ask you a question. You're from that country up north, right? So I guess the only people we can talk about were good out of there musically was Bryan Adams and Neil Young. But in Philadelphia, we had a singer called Jerry Butler, and he had a great song called "Only the Strong Survive." It's really simple. The people that understand, like my hero Ben Franklin says, that when you're finished changing, you're finished, they will survive, because everything that's bad is an opportunity for people that are sharp. It just is. So,
Yep.
right. Okay. Business is slow. I'm going to steal somebody else's business. So the people that understand that life is finite and time is finite, and you don't get your time back, and use this as a change. As imagine you never thought of a buying center or never thought of tuning your people into buying cars. And now you do. Even once the economy bounces back and interest rates come back down and all this nonsense is behind us with chips and strikes, look at the skill that you've developed. So I think I can't talk about the industry in general. I have to talk about the specifics of specific dealerships. The dealerships that want to get ahead and want to move forward. Well, listen, for everybody that doesn't know, follow my line of thinking. I was a one-man band. And anybody that's never seen me do it will tell you that it's amazing. I get up, I don't sleep too much. I get about 2-3 hours sleep. And in the morning, I have about 200 emails of candidates. Throughout the day, I have hundreds of people. I get it all done. I train, I find my own business, blah, blah, blah. I woke up one day and what am I, stupid? How am I ever going to take over the planet by myself? So I got Harry involved with me. He's a retired guy with 1 billion years of experience. Harry said, Larry, you're terrific. Thank you, Harry. But nobody knows who the hell you are. In my book, Inner Moron Demons, Bob Holland said, I'm the best kept secret in the car business. I'm the Tony Robbins of sales. He says, we need a publicist. I got Rhonda. Now we've got another lady, Marie. So instead of saying, I'm really good at this stuff, I said, how much better could I be? What would happen if I had people around me, right? They say it's the difference between working in your business and working on your business. So to constantly want to evolve and to want to learn is the kid. They asked me, how do I see the business change? And I quoted Jerry Butler, Philadelphia singer before your time, who said, only the strong survive. And that the guys that are smart enough to grasp this and doing it. By the way, can everybody see Duran's cup? It's supposed to be coffee. There's so much bourbon in this. He cannot hang with me and not be intoxicated. I don't blame him a bit. John Ellis, the reason Ellis isn't in, he spontaneously combusted. It was really ugly. Go ahead, Duran. Hey, who else haven't we heard from in a while? Did we lose Troy and Michael? Or are they still with us?
Troy had to run for lunch.
Oh, wait a minute. So we're going to talk about a diet, and then we got Troy running out to get a sandwich. We're going to have to review this call. Duran, and you stepped away for a minute. Any thoughts on anything, my buddy? What did you learn at the conference? I mean, skip the nonsense. What did you really learn? Because you're sharp as hell. Is there anything specific? I picked up how crazy people are with not having a process to appraise cars, and that everybody's still adding too much friction to buy cars from consumers. What did you learn? What did you pick up? 1 or 2 things.
I'll be really honest. I just got here today, really early this morning, and The video that I shared with you all earlier was good, but what Ben said here a few moments ago, that was good information as well. And so if somebody is watching this where they missed what Ben said, I would definitely go back to hear what he said, because it was super simple about the importance of just making sure that we're taking care of our first party customers, our actual customers that know who we are.
Nothing scarier, Duran, than when you think you own your data and you don't, and then you have a breakup with who's the provider, and now they own your stuff. They're holding you for ransom.
And that works, it works for us too. Like I did a training earlier this week at a store that I've had now 3 times. And the only reason why they've ever ended, it was just because either a season or something had changed. But part of what happened there was I always stay in contact with either clients I currently have and clients that I'd lost before. And the art of salespeople now, most of them will not keep up with customers that they no longer have. Because
hold on. I got a dovetail on this.
Go ahead.
I love when Duran talks. Listen, I just told the story in the training last week of first time a salesman walked up to me and said, "That's my customer." After I sold him, he wanted half the deal. I said, "What are you talking about?" He says, "I leased him that car 3 years ago." I said, "When was the last time you spoke to him?" 3 years ago. I then used a lot of curse words and told him to take a long walk off a short pier. If we're not taking care of the people that we've already sold that like us, it dovetails into not keeping people happy in service. They go get an oil change somewhere else, then they buy a car somewhere else. Not only do you lose them, you lose their family, their friends, and all the repeat referral there. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but you triggered.
That's
Go
it.
ahead.
No, it's 6 figures. And so
Let me jump on there for a second.
But by the way, Peter, an insect just flew into his thing and choked to death. I'm telling you, liquored up like you never saw.
So
You needed a little moral support, didn't you?
go ahead, Peter.
Okay. So in
Oh, he's got the little Tetley thing. Come on, we know better.
Going
Peter,
into
I'm
that, we understand, and we all know it. The average conversion rate at a dealership when we
Wait.
talk.
Hold your conversion stuff.
No,
I got
hold on.
Wendy
Let me finish this because it involves Wendy. So
Okay.
So the average conversion rate at a dealership is 12%.
12% conversion rate.
Yeah. When we talk about internet leads, phone calls, walk-ins, repeat customers, everything is 12%. That means we have 88% of our people in our database have not engaged in business with us. Using a CDP, we can engage those people to bring them to us for 0 costs. The acquisition cost is already being spent. We need to retrain ourselves to go back and do it. Wendy Reeves was the person that promoted that. And
have you ever seen Wendy? Wait a minute. Have you ever seen Wendy Reeves' BDC script? She showed it to me last night after she had been drinking. It basically is this going to take long? Because I have a hair appointment. I'm telling you. Wait. We got Ariana. Do you see? We got Ariana and Scott. Tell us, Wendy and Ariana and Scott, tell us what you learned so far.
What do we learn? I learned it's all about the people. Yep. Relationships. Yep. For sure. What do you got?
No, that's what it is. It's good. No, the relationship is what it comes down to.
Hey, can I ask you a question? I've been begging these 3 to come on. Wasn't that a little cut and dry for our audience?
Okay.
It's like, how was the surgery? He's dead, but I really made a nice incision. How about a little meat on the bones? It's
hey, Larry, Scott understands relationships. He just nods and says yes.
Well, listen, I wouldn't push Wendy too far. There's a reason Fred's not here. And he's screwed with the wrong BDC lady.
No, honestly, I was listening very intently to a number of people in our industry that reaffirmed the fact for me that they truly believe, like we do, as like-hearted and like-minded individuals, that it's all about the relationships in our industry and for our customers. And that it's important for us to carry it out for one another and to nurture those in our teams and whatever, so we can ultimately provide a better experience for our customer through all the people involved in the mission. And it reaffirmed that the people that
Wait a minute.
and I think we need to get more people on the Asotucon bus because it's really a great effort. It's really a great
Oh, I couldn't agree more on that.
Great training, and have to stay stronger together, right?
Now let me ask you a question. How insane is it?
I wasn't even looking at that.
Yeah, how insane is it that we're still discussing taking care of people and treating them like human beings? And it's 2023. You figured
Yeah.
at some point we would have grasped that. What do you got? You learned.
Or providing a quality experience.
Ariana wants to add, and then William has his hand up. Go ahead, Ariana.
Just, make sure it's great people, that have, that you fill their needs. And the better relationships have better quality service, just like you said, I don't know how to add that.
We got Scott Trainer here. For anybody that doesn't know, Scott was recently exiled from Canada. But did find a job. I think they get tax credits for hiring him. What did you learn so far, other than not come on my podcast anymore?
I think that's the biggest takeaway I'm gonna get from this. And to not take pictures because technology is your friend.
Excuse me, know any Jewish photographers? It's not Avon Berg, okay? Go ahead.
No, but it's definitely, listen, it's the theme of the conference as well as collaborations. That's really what it comes down to. Most of the success I've had, especially an artist coming from another country, is collaborations. I met Larry and we worked together. We've done some projects together, and it's just being around good, like-minded people.
Listen, hold on. This guy's a recruiter. And I'm a recruiter, and yet we were able to get together and get some people hired, share some profit, and more importantly, forge a friendship that'll go on forever. So once again, it's looking outward, not inward. The more we understand that this is a long-term proposal, not short-term, the better we're gonna be.
Scott, would you agree? Communication, collaboration equals clarity.
100%.
Yeah. And that's what.
No, mine would have been pizza or dirty.
Motivation, inspiration, education, and words of.
She's not a meeting, but we definitely need a picture.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna interrupt the broadcast so we can get a picture.
Could you take a picture of us?
Hey, he's not getting us in the background.
They just all walked off.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
he left us alone.
so speaking of pictures, if you saw the backdrop for Asotucon with all the sponsors, Career Changers is in the bottom right corner of the backdrop. And why they put it there? It matches Larry's height. So
And he's not even here to hear that. Oh my God.
well, you can watch the replay.
But
Well
we are
done,
being
Peter.
recorded,
Well
Peter.
done.
Glad you're back, Larry.
You know what? Duran insisted I take a picture, and it's like I said, he's got alcohol in that cup. I didn't want to start a.
You left us alone, Larry.
No, wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, you gotta go.
Yeah, we'll be back.
Thank you so much. We're only on for a couple more minutes.
Oh, okay.
Scott's got to leave. He'll be on our next broadcast next week at 7 p.m.
I'll do it. Yes. All right.
Listen. We just had a guy, and we asked him to take a picture. Now, I don't know how well you know Duran Cage, one of the sweetest guys you'll ever meet. Scott and Ariana are sweethearts. There's nobody in the industry that doesn't love Wendy Reeves, and I gotta be likable because I torture people and they still want to hang with me. And we asked him to take a picture, and he said, "I'm too busy." How stupid can you be? Because what happens is your bad behavior, like your good behavior, perpetuates itself. And people that are used to saying hello and smiling at people say hello and smile. And people that are too busy to take a 2-second picture, if this guy gets a flat tire, me and Duran are going to drive around him 3 times and say, "Hey, how's your tire? We'd love to stop, but we're too busy."
Reminds me of the Jeff Foxworthy joke where the guy pulls into the gas station and he's talking about stupid people. He pulls into the gas station with a flat. The guy turns around and goes, "Hey, you got a flat tire?" And he goes, "No, I was just driving along and the other 3 just blew up."
Peter, there's a reason I handle the humor on the show.
That
Okay, you're
was
Canadian.
flat.
Stick with hockey and saying hey. All right, we've only got a few minutes. Obviously, we're having a ball here. It's always a pleasure when I'm side by side with Duran Cage. John Ellis was here. We had a great cast. Does anybody have any thoughts or questions before we wrap this thing up a bit early?
No, I can't think of.
Oh, whoa. William Granada had his hand up. I don't want to be rude. William, what do you have on your mind?
So I'll close it on this, and I sent Duran a video just a day ago. So Mr. Cage, I received your message back this morning. Thank you. Listen.
Whoa, he doesn't like to be called Mr. Cage. He likes to be called Sparky. So
Listen, we're all on a podcast right now. We're all on a video right now. We're all interacting from different points of the world right now, including Peter and that other place up north, right? That was my attempt at a joke, so I got Peter to smile. Okay.
No, we got two unfunny guys. Thank God I'm here. Go ahead.
But my question is this, and this has been on my heart most recently. In the age of DocuSign, in the age of digital retail, age of
This is
transparency.
gonna be more fun in the session. We warned you.
That us as dealers are not promoting more digital retail, FaceTime, WhatsApp messaging. Real estate agents are perfectly comfortable doing virtual walkthroughs and perfectly comfortable selling a home across the country for people who've never even stepped foot in the front or the backyard.
But William, real estate agents don't roll their eyes when you walk into their office and say, oh, they're never going to buy a house. It's the preconceived negative mindset.
100%.
So going to that question that's been on my heart is the reason that we see this not happening and us not progressing as an industry is we're not doing it, right? This is great to get on a FaceTime call. This is great to get on a podcast. We all have the videos. From a dealership perspective, it could grow that much more further if people were just comfortable operating in this space right here. Because in the next 10 years, I'll tell you, it's coming. And for those that aren't doing it, they're going to be right where they are right now.
But Duran Cage is going to continue to spread the great message about how to use video and how to get across to people the way they want to be approached. Till I die, I'm going to be telling people to smile at people and be more human and actually listen and empathize. And everybody on this show, we appreciate you to death. We're going to do everything we can, like Paul and Kyle are, to move this industry forward. We're not interested in the negative or the naysayers, okay? They told Columbus that the world was flat and he'd fall off the edge, okay? They told Michael Jordan he couldn't play on his high school team, all right? We're going to move forward. We're going to drag everybody with us that wants to come. And by the way, I stand by everything said on this broadcast except the inflammatory comments, which means you've got to edit it down to a minute and a half, Rhonda. Anybody got anything else? We cannot thank you enough for accommodating us during the day. We know you're all busy. And we thank you and look forward to seeing you next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Trust me, we will bring the energy from Baltimore with us. And thank you all. We greatly appreciate it. Everybody, please stay healthy.
Thanks, everyone.